Here's the thing. Most guys think it's the big moves that get women hooked. But the truth, it's the little things. The natural, unplanned, almost innocent behaviors you do without thinking. Those are the ones that flip a switch in her mind. The way you hold something, how you react in a split-second moment. These aren't game. They're the kind of subtle moves that make her think about you. Long after you've gone today, we're breaking down 9 of them. The ones that make women go absolutely crazy for you, often before you even realize what you did. 1. The thoughtful pause before you answer. Ever notice how most guys rush to respond? They jump in before the other person's even done speaking. It's pure anxiety, but when you pause, even for just a moment, it changes everything. It makes your words feel deliberate, like you're really considering what she said, not just waiting for your turn to talk. That stillness does 2 things. 1, it signals confidence. Only grounded, self-assured men can tolerate silence without fidgeting. And 2, it builds anticipation. She leans in, subconsciously wondering what's he about to say. In psychology, this is called a pregnant pause. It pulls the other person deeper into the interaction. Try it next time, 1 beat of silence. Then your answer. It's amazing how quickly she'll start hanging on your words. 2, the natural lean in without crowding. Now here's a move that gets woman without you even realizing. Picture this. You're sharing a laugh, or she's telling a story that's got her animated without thinking. You lean in slightly, not too much. Not invasive, just enough to signal you have my full attention. That's intimacy without pressure. It's a subconscious way of closing the gap. And she feels it. Luan Brissendine in The Female Brain talks about how women's mirror neurons react strongly to subtle shifts in proximity. When you move closer, her body picks it up before her mind does. And when you pull back, it creates a tiny push-pull dynamic that's magnetic. No words, no moves. Just natural unconscious chemistry. And here's the kicker. You don't even need to be flirting for it to work. That's what makes it so powerful. 3, adjusting your sleeves or watch mid-conversation. This one's sneaky because it looks like nothing. But when you roll up your sleeves, adjust your watch or casually pull your cuffs back, you're drawing attention to 2 primal zones. Your forearms and your hands. Researchers on body language note that these preening behaviors, little adjustments we make to feel more comfortable, often double as attraction cues. Why? Because they show relaxed composure. They make you look put together without trying. And there's a subtle biological layer too. Their forearms are a sign of physicality. They signal strength and capability quietly. A pro tip: do it slow. A rushed, frantic adjustment reads as nervous. A calm, unhurried one. That's the difference between fixing your clothes and looking effortlessly composed. 4, the problem solver face. You know that face you make when you're fixing something or working through a puzzle, brow slightly furrowed, jaw set, focused. Yeah, that one. That look drives women crazy because it screams competence. As Robert Greene says in The Art of Seduction, capability seduces silently. When you're dialed in, fixing or figuring something out, she sees a man who can handle himself and, by extension, handle challenges. It's innocent because you're not performing for her. You're just in the zone. But to her, it's a flash of your masculinity at work. And the bonus, it's a peek behind the curtain. She gets to see you unfiltered, fully engaged. That's rare. That's magnetic. Quick pause before we hit the next one. Because if you're into spotting these subtle signals, you're gonna love this. I put together a little cheat sheet called 25 Forbidden Signals. She's secretly into you? It's basically a field guide to the micro-behaviors women use when they're actually feeling you. The glances, the little shifts, the things she'll never admit she's doing. And here's the fun part, once you know them. You'll start catching them everywhere. It's exclusive, I don't share it on YouTube, and the link's down below. Go grab it and then watch how differently you start seeing women. And that's just the beginning. Because the next ones, they're the kind of unconscious behaviors that stick in your head for days after you've gone. 5 Playful reactions to her teasing. Women tease men all the time. But not every man handles it well. Some get defensive, some overcompensate and try too hard to win. And then there's the rare guy who just smirks, laughs, tosses something light back her way without breaking stride. That reaction, it's catnip. It signals emotional agility, that you're confident enough not to take yourself too seriously and secure enough to play along. In Flirt Like a Pro, Dominic Mann calls this the tease frame flip. You're turning the moment into a shared joke instead of a challenge. And here's the kicker. When you stay playful, she doesn't just enjoy the moment. She feels safer being playful with you again. It creates an emotional loop that makes interactions with you feel easy and addictive. And this next one, you've probably done it 100 times without realizing how insanely attractive it looks. 6, the slow hand through your hair. This one's almost unfair. You're deep in thought. Maybe a little frustrated or just casually resetting yourself. You drag a hand through your hair slow. Natural, not rehearsed. And suddenly she's watching your face. Why? Because grooming gestures, the unconscious ways we adjust or touch ourselves, trigger primal attraction cues. They draw the eye to your face and make you look composed, yet tactile. There's also an emotional layer. That gesture reads as self-soothing. And when you do it without thinking, it gives off a raw, unpolished vibe that women can't help but find magnetic. Pro tip, don't force it. This only works when it's unconscious. The moment it looks rehearsed, the spell breaks. 7, the protective block. Now let's talk about one that hits on a primal level. You're walking down a crowded street together and without thinking, you step between her and the group of rowdy guys coming your way. Or you angle yourself slightly so she's on the inside. Away from traffic, you don't announce it. You don't make it a thing. You just do it that quiet. Instinctive move makes women melt. It reads as protectiveness. Not in a performative way, but in an I've got you without saying a word way. Evolutionary psychology points out that these subtle acts of guarding trigger feelings of safety and connection. You're communicating volumes with 0 words. And if you think that's powerful, wait until you see what happens when you pair it with the next one. 8, your I'm thinking posture. You know the one, hands on your hips while you take something in. A hand on your chin while you mull over a problem. Leaning back, arms loosely crossed. Silently observing the room. To you, it's just a comfortable stance. To her, it's authority. Postures like this read as grounded, self-possessed and contemplative. 3 traits women instinctively associate with capable, reliable men. In The Art of Seduction, Robert Greene talks about how even static body language can project a magnetic, command the room energy, and when you do it naturally, not to pose, not to perform it, gives her a glimpse of you at rest in your own power. That's addictive, but this last one. This is the one that keeps you living rent-free in her head. 9. The quick exit on your terms. Most men linger, they overstay. They don't know how to leave when the energy is high. But when you do, when you wrap up a great conversation with a smile, a quick touch on her elbow, maybe a "we'll talk soon," and then you walk away. That's impact. Why? Because it taps into the Zeigarnik effect, the psychological phenomenon that makes unfinished interactions stick in our minds longer. You've left her with a loop her brain wants to close. Robert Greene calls it leaving them wanting more. And it works because you end things on a high before the energy dips. She's left curious, slightly frustrated, and thinking about you long after you've gone. And if you grab that chi-chi I mentioned earlier, this is exactly the kind of move that makes those forbidden signals light up like a dashboard. So which of these do you think you already do without even realizing? Drop it in the comments. I actually read them all. And I love seeing which ones you guys catch yourselves doing. Until next time, pay attention. Make your move and own the moment.